Hey everyone, I figured I'd show you how I clean and cleanse my decks. I do this every once in a while when I feel I should, and that's basically because I read reverses as well. Every once in a while, I will go, especially when I really want to get a fresh reading, a fresh take on things, I will go through the deck with the images seen and put them all in the same direction so I could reshuffle and really get a complete, let's see, that's on this file, a real good sense of where we're going. And it helps to clarify, and it's sort of like when you cleanse your, speaking of cleansing, when you're cleansing your crystals. And that you can do, of course, by make sure your crystal can be in water. You can add a little sea salt. Real sea salt is best. If you can actually have live water, which is like a little water from the ocean, a running stream, just as fine. And be careful if you do it in a sink. Make sure you have your colander going, trying to talk to you while also seeing if these cards are reversed right side up and all the rest. So what happens sometimes after you're using a deck and you're reading again and again, and if you're not doing this to your decks, sometimes what happens is that you may have, especially if you read reverses, you may have one pile that actually is more all, I like that 50 reverse, 50 right side up. I have it really be completely fair and completely unknown as to what I'm doing the reading. And so I find it important to do this on occasion. So as you can see, actually, not as a big deal, but it looks like there's two cards more reverse than right side up. So then I place, you see, this is really simple, people. But this, especially when you get a brand new deck, great time to do this. Especially when you're maybe like a couple of decks that I'll be showcasing here. The Illumina Tarot by Caitlin Keegan, beautiful art, which is why I'm showing that. And then we'll be pulling a couple of cards, gem from the gem deck, gems from Bianca Luna, okay? And they're very pretty as well, and I'm making a mess. And I know some of you are like, it's so OCD. So I totally get it. So, I gotta be honest, I'm a little jelly. Some of you ladies and gents and beautiful people, your nails are so gorgeous. And it's like looking at a beautiful, oh my God, I can't have nails. And I can't. I'm a maker. I'm always doing things with my hands, and so I can't get to a nail salon or even do it myself. I do try to take care of my nails, but for those of you that have the beautiful nail polishes and all those signs, I'm jelly. It looks so great during your readings. Okay? And there's thousands of us on YouTube that talk about tarot, and this is just one way that I cleanse a deck to get fresh. Now, I'm not about to count half of 78, okay? But I will just, eye it, reverse, and then again, start shuffling. Now, what about if a deck, and you're going to see, especially in the Illumina Tarot, if you have, and you notice a whole bunch of us will have, really more than 10 decks. You can still do readings just with one deck, okay? Or no decks, right? If you're intuitive. People read cards all sorts of ways. There's one thing that's really fascinating. See, now I'm going to do this again. So I've shuffled a couple times, but I've now cut the deck in half and I flipped it. So again, we're getting complete unknown reading. We don't know we're not making anything all in one's favor. That's why I like to see the cards shuffling in front of the reader when I catch readings. Believe me, it's not for the sound, but some decks, as you know, are really hard to shuffle. Some are super slippery. The decks themselves can come in all sorts of quality of depth or, in terms of weight, the type of paper. So, and some people don't like other people touching your tarot decks. That's because the reader wants to protect the energy of that deck. There's another theme where they suggest not to have your decks at least be at heart level when you store them, not on the floor, not below, not low. And another theory about tarot cards is that if you believe in reincarnation, you've already been to shaman in your past life, grandmothers, from doing tea to reading bones or stone, you name it. And one theory I've read many years ago, which I always found fascinating, especially when you're reading for somebody. And in my case, I don't mind certain decks where I will actually have the client shuffle the deck to get their energy into the deck. And then I will spread the cards out and then have them pick. And they choose with their own intuitiveness. And when I do that, the theory that I heard about, and again, take what resonates, leave what what doesn't work for you, but that you as the client choosing the cards, for example, all from the deck and where you want them, which I'm going to do right now, allows your energy to get into the deck. I'm just going to do a Celtic spread. You already know the meanings, all right? So you as the client, even though you've never read tarot cards in this life, but it's almost as if your past lives, your reincarnations are all still with you. So you choose the cards that are right for you in this lifetime at this particular spot and time moment on the timeline, if you believe in time, whether it's before or after, right? And I love doing that. I love sort of feeling the energy of the cards. I forgot the name of this particular artist, but I love the back of these decks. Very much like my drawings and so forth. All right, so let's see what's the energy for today. Ooh, Ace of Cups. In a Celtic spread, usually, even if it came in reverse, the second card is always right side up. Okay, so there may be a little disappointment in love or a delayed message about love. Something that was suspended or that was hanging. There's definitely a movement. Definitely you see some differences. Somebody wants a change in job, but it's maybe not. Okay, let me finish this reading here. Then there's decision options, release of some of the worries, perhaps thinking about leaving something that no longer serves you. There is a person with truth coming through, an air sign, most likely. Also, wow, this truth is straightforward. It's sort of right to the chase, right? No fluffy words. Okay, and we have the Seven of Cups as the last word of card. It's sort of interesting seeing the Page of Swords looking at the Seven of Cups. It's almost as to say, this is your truth, but you have many options about your new truth. Okay, so this particular thing, let's get a little confirmation. But what in the world are they talking about? First card popped up. Yeah, definitely about job. Even though it was the Ace of Cups, it almost looks like that no longer serves. Yeah, it looks like this is about a career. So for now, it's a career reading. And it looks like you've been learning or will be very shortly learning some new skills. Definitely recommend doing that. But it also looks like there may be a little chance that you're going to be sort of on the fence, like, oh, should I do A or should I do B? Now, what's interesting is that right now you're sort of experiencing with the Death reverse, and here's with the Tower reverse. And this is interesting. I'm not sure to keep the Tower reverse because it's more positive. Because remember I said normally the number 2 card is right side up. But in this case, because the Tower is reversed, the Tower reverse is more positive than right side up. So I'm going to keep it reversed. I know, counterintuitive, but it makes sense. Especially when it looks like there's a mini tarot moment that you realize that whatever sort of side gig or side hustle, you definitely want to make a change. And it looks like you definitely, especially with the Devil reverse, it confirms that you are having the power to leave that no longer serves you. Whether it's a job, one of the changes, it's almost like you're going to be coming out of your shell. So whatever sort of quietness, and mind you, you've been struggling with a bit of this, and you're realizing that this job, whatever, especially the Seven of Pentacles reverse, is showing that it's not as fruitful that you were originally investing your time and energy. Now it's sort of, and a King of Swords sort of comes in. It's possible too, and we're going to confirm with as I shuffle here, that you may even get an opportunity, but it's sort of, there's some truth. I want to understand a little bit about that, and we will get the confirmation. Okay, interesting. All right, so there's definitely, especially over the Eight of Pentacles, there's definitely a energy of, I'm picking up big boss energy here. And I almost feel an opportunity is coming your way. The World card. So there's an opportunity, and it came in reverse. There is a world card, there's an opportunity coming your way, but you need to know more about this before you jump ship with whatever you're currently working on. But we are, I guess I said, we're gonna get a little confirmation about that. And why is that? What is about this? Too many cards, Spirit. Thank you, Spirit. Too many cards again, Spirit. Let me get my hands together here. What about this Emperor in the World? Too many cards. Thank you, Spirit. You know what? I almost was like, let me rest. Let me not try to rush the card to come out. And that almost is a sign, intuitively, it's almost telling me to, first of all, this looks really heavy, but it's not as heavy as you think. Okay, I want you to rest on that. And that literally had me take a breath before trying to force the card for confirming the world reverse, the Emperor. So it's almost reminding me to tell you, take your time. The Emperor is very methodical. Yeah, totally big boss. So maybe you're even putting on your big boss panties, which is fabulous. Because, yeah, you want to direct your direction in your world effectively. And so there may be an opportunity that comes your way, but there's more to it, or it's almost even suggesting that you might need some changes within it because the world's reversed. When it's right side up, you're going to a brand new level. So it almost suggests that maybe, okay, well, this person may be able to assist you in some way or give you an opportunity, but it's not, it's sort of doing something parallel to what you're doing now. And I think you have something within you, especially with the world reverse, signifying that you definitely want something higher, something, especially with, the Seven of Cups as an outcome. What is the story here that yep. Okay, so definitely an opportunity with the Two of Wands, Two of Rods in this deck coming through. So there's definitely and I think too with the Two of Swords here that there's two opportunities you really want to think. One definitely seems to be a really fabulous, wow, big air sign. Holy moly. Okay, so whoever this person's coming in is three. We're just missing the Queen of Swords here. The Nine of Swords, the Page of Swords, the King of Swords. So Aquarius, okay, Libra, Gemini. I'm picking more Aquarius for some reason, being that Aquarius, and this person's really, they've been watching you, by the way. You may not realize that they're watching you, but definitely even their team may be watching you, and they're contemplating the opportunity because even they can see the different options. Okay, and I love this card. I mean, look at that gorgeous artwork. Yum yum yum. Try to put the light on it so it's better for you. All right, let's get some confirmation. Gosh, so interesting. What too many cards? Definitely being reminded, take your time. Take your time. Mind you, when I watch tarot, I'm watching sometimes some of you, I love you, but I'm like, oh, she's so slow. And I have to speed it up to like 1.75 because I'm like, come on, get to it. So, and me being like a former New Yorker, I speak fast normally, but I wouldn't blame you if you wanted to two cards. I wanted one card. You know what? Let's do it this way for a little bit. Let's flush the cards a little bit. Thank you, Spirit, for helping me with this reading. This is about career for today, for the collective. Wow. Oh, you know what? I'm going to put these two as a side, and the two came here. So twos are really important here, okay? And I just got this, I just did a couple shorts. One is, because first of all, a previous reading I did today, 4 aces came out. That's 1.23% chances that would ever happen in the poll that I did of 27 cards out of a 78 card deck. You know how rare that is? And check the video out if you'd like. But I just got this like two of rods, Two of Swords, 2 is going to be super important to you. Now, okay, I'm not flipped. 3 of Pentacles. Yeah, you were worried. I'm going to put that over here. I have a feeling. Okay, tell us more, please, about these opportunities. Thank you. Okay, so this may be somebody that you know, But the Two of Cups is, and yes, it could be about romance, okay, and even a soulmate. That's, Two of Cups talk about soulmates, and even soulmates don't necessarily have to be romantic. Please remember that your pet could be your soulmate. There's all sorts of types of soulmates, and the Two of Cups also represents two people really communicating really well with one another, that they're exchanging ideas that really work. So with this literally being next to the Two of Rods, there is definitely going to be communication coming in. Tell us more about this communication and this Two of Cups. Thank you. Regarding the air sign and the career. This is, wow, brand new beginning of some sort. This is something that is a Fool. So this is something, and this person you may not even know, just for some of you that may resonate, but there is, this opportunity is so brand new. I'm even picking up cutting edge. Why is that? Thank you. Three of Rods. Okay, Three of Wands. That's like starting of an enterprise, all right? Starting of a business, or even, especially with the Two of Cups, the Two of Rods, you have it over the air signs. I just saw a yellow, almost, oh, it almost looked like an old yellow Camaro. I had one. It was my mother's, but I got to, use it for a couple of times. Oh my God, that was fabulous. That's a sign. The color yellow. Okay, I don't know why, but the color yellow is going to be, and ironically, look at the color of those cups. That's also yellow. So follow, instead of follow the white rabbit, remember, of those choices, one of them is yellow. All right, and with the flower or something that has patterns in it or outdoors natures, think about that when you are going through, but somebody has an opportunity for you. Okay, now, but the Three of Rods is positive. Okay, I know you're a little bit worried about, like, is this really going to work? The Three of Coins, Three of Pentacles reverse, but this, I am feeling there's one of these opportunities is really solid. Okay, but I do feel that you need to do your due diligence. That means look at the fine print, review, like, what really, especially with that Seven of Cups, really review to yourself, see yourself, what would make you happy more, not just for today, but really for enjoying that you want to do in your life. Remember, the first set of cards really had showing you a sign like, I love being a doctor, but I really want to cook. Okay, so maybe you have a side gig of running a little restaurant, or being a sous chef someplace. Oops, not all right. So tell us more about this business opportunity. That's right here. Thank you, Lord. Well, I'm going to take this because this is the reading. Oh, holy moly. That was the Wheel of Fortune. That was the Nine of Cups. And you finally get to rest. There is something that has been so weary on your heart that it's been so difficult. Why is that? Wow. Oh, I love this. You finally get to complete something. There's a stage of your life, especially with there's a really huge change coming for you. You're going to finally, all this hardship that you've been going through now completely ceases. I mean, there's something that comes in. Nine of Cups is not like, everyone gets their wish. Yeah, my website might be the9ofcups.com. But let me tell you, when you get the Nine of Cards, the Nine of Cups card, with the Wheel of Fortune, I mean, come on, people. Okay? This is like almost suggesting, my lotto ticket. I mean, like $1 or $2. Well, I guess the minimum now here in the States, I guess it's $5, which, whatever. Okay? I'm not asking you to gamble. All right? That's not my suggestion anyway. But my point is that there is, life is a gamble, right? We're learning lessons all the time, and we know this. And I'm messing up my cards, driving me a little. Ooh. Okay. That's impressive. That is flippin' impressive. And you finally end the cycle that you get to rest. And this was the other card. Let me just put this. The Magician. It's almost as if someone says, here's the steering wheel. Now just go ahead and drive. Because you've just driven your whole life to a whole new path. Man, oh man, oh man. That is wild. Okay. I almost want to end it there. Almost don't even want to go to the gems, but I'm going to do it just for special. Okay. What is the one gem or crystal that we should be concentrating on that helps bring clarity to our hearts? And I'm going to read from the book. Spirit, can you show us, please? One card, please, Spirit. One card. Well, I'm going to take them, people, because you know what? Sometimes we don't have all the cards. We don't have all the crystals. Of course. Talk about career cards. Amazonite. This is a cool gem. If you've not had, it looks a little bit like green aventurine, but Amazonite really helps pinpoint your. You get to define. In other words, it takes that 7 of cups. Like, oh, I could do this and this, or that. It helps you totally define what you need to do. The light amethyst. Okay, so good old. I feel like there's 2 cards here. Yep. The amethyst. All right, amethyst heals, so there definitely shows there's some healing. Okay, 3 and 7 could be sort of important here. Another one is, oh, how interesting. Fossilized wood. I would almost substitute tiger's eye for this. Okay, if you don't have any, fossilized wood around. Okay, but we will read about that. The number 14, an aquamarine. Wow, it's almost telling you. Now, this is very interesting. Aquamarine. And I was picking up Aquarius. And what's interesting, you have amethyst, amazonite, aquamarine. The letter A is going to be really important here. I don't know where it fits, but the letter A, okay? The number 4, the number 3, the number 7. Holy moly, 3 plus 4 equals 7. 7 plus 7 equals 14. 777 might be a huge symbol here. And definitely I'll put up what the definition of 777 is, angel numbers for you. Real quick, let me read a little bit from the from these books so you can hear. Okay, so I'm just gonna go to which ones that go first. Aquamarine. Oh, that's great. We're living in a moment where we want and need to be alone. We do not experience the solitude or isolation, but the opposite. These moments are precious for our inner equilibrium. Aquamarine is a stone of harmony and peace, and gives us those states of profound well-being and self-sufficiency. Okay, so this is definitely where it's necessary to what is superfluous in my life? How do I, and then also it's amazing psychophysical emotional balancer. So it favors introspection, spiritual growth, mental clarity. It deepens, it disperses timidity. When someone's timid, that's where you sort of have that. Remember I told you that you're coming out of your shell with a hermit, okay? And helps to develop creativity, all right? Totally cool. Let's see what the other one was. Oh, of course, nothing is by. All right, Amazonite. And I'll put that card up here so you can see it while I read. We're in a period of transformation, both physical and psychic. Old habits and mental structures that have functioned. There's your tower and the death reverse. Old habits and mental structures that have functioned in our life do not now have any reasons to exist. Change is necessary, and the Amazonite will help you to face that moment with trust and a sense of freedom. How beautiful is that? It's helpful. This stone is helpful when we must free ourselves from the dependency. Wow, how interesting that it's right next to the amethyst. From, let's say, alcohol, cigarettes, or drugs, people that no longer serve us, attitudes, jobs that no. It favors courage, determination, and the conservation instinct for overcoming damaging and erroneous behaviors. Mercury, okay, element air. Interesting. Okay. I did have a chakra too. Also, the other one was interesting. The other aquamarine, of course, is water, moon. And this is what's interesting about the Aquarius I talked about before, the air sign. Aquarius, people are like, but that's a water sign. No, she's the water carrier. But she's an air sign. Go figure. And Aquarians are are so future thinking. It's not even funny. I mean, it's not like they can see what's going on tomorrow. They're some of the best inventors, okay, for that reason. Now, let's find Amethyst if we can. Okay, number 7. Let's see if she does it. Okay. All right. I found how she organizes them by her number, and I'm sure there's a reason that I have not picked up. Okay. Light Amethyst. Another air sign, Uranus. The Anja chakra. Independence of our gender is a period we are developing our feminine part, intuition, beauty, creativity, and sweetness. Have an important part in our lives. We are capable of caring for others and being empathetic regarding their problems. We are an important point of reference for friends and family. How fascinating. The amethyst, I've never read that about the amethyst. The powers. The amethyst calms tensions and agitation, is very useful for relaxation. It has the power to pacify the mind and help those who suffer from insomnia or restless sleep. I've also heard, I've known this for a long time, about the amethyst, especially right next to the Amazonite. Say that 3 times fast, okay? The light amethyst, the amethyst is great to use. Let's say you drink more than you want to. Having that in your pocket or having an amulet on you really helps you keep away from that you don't want to engage it. It's a really great healing stone for that, right? And of course, it calms the mind. Also, just great to have in the room. Now, let's see. Number 14. We're almost there, people. 14. Okay, fossilized wood. Earth. Taurus. Anahata chakra. Okay. And it's a time where we live in a time where many events are mixed up. We must follow a myriad of projects in every aspect of life, and at times this creates stress and anxiety. Fossilized wood helps us to ground us to daily life and to follow each task with calm and serenity. And remember when I took a moment before pulling the cards? Wow. Every action, even the most banal and routine, has a gem of spirituality within it. Wow. Think about the beautiful feng shui that you see. And I really need to start talking about the feng shui powers. Fossilized wood stimulates a holistic vision of life. It helps in terms of personal evolution, which you exactly need right now, right? And it gives the patience and tenacity needed for facing problems. Oh, that's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. I love that. Now, if you don't have fossilized wood, I would suggest a couple things. If you can, okay? If you can get outside where there's a tree of sorts, you can just gently put your hand on the tree. I would suggest if you could even get outside to put your feet on grass for 5 minutes, so that you're really grounded, especially if you live where you're always on cement. Like, when was the last time you had your feet just for 5 minutes? Okay. And then you get the towel, like today it's rainy and all the rest. It would be very cold to do it, but it'd be very grounding. Okay. Now, what if you can't do that? Maybe you can even maybe drive, if you know a drive around the woods, open up the windows real quick and slowly go through that 1-2 mile part where there's lots of trees. Another is maybe even just watching a video. Maybe you're an elder, maybe you're stuck in the house, but you do have the internet. Do yourself a favor and find a video of forest sounds, of sort of meditation, ASMR type video. I probably have it on my other channel, Heart and Soul. Actually, do Heart and Soul Apothecary here on YouTube. It's been around for years. But the important part is to embrace the sounds of energy, because of course birds noises are healing. So was basically nature. And I think you all know, and if you don't, I'll tell you right now, that when people are like, oh, really, they sort of joke about it, but it's not. Do you know that the Earth's resonance, the Earth, every planet out there, every sort of being out in the universe, it makes a sound. And Earth's resonance is, go figure that one. How interesting. It's all about energy. Everything is energy. Everything. Okay. So, last but not least, let us pick one last card, one card piece from the deck for surprising events that we should be aware of. What is anything we need to be aware of to help us on our journey? Thank you. Yeah. Okay. So definitely it talks about right now, and don't worry about this, but yeah, you definitely have been feeling with the Three of Swords and even the Nine of Swords, but the Nine of Swords is reversed. So that means you're over the hump of the worst that you've been through. Okay? And so, yes, there's going to be some heartstrings. And I think you need to remember that, past these heartstrings, this is what's happening, people. Okay? You're going to get what? You're going to get you literally are going to create your own new fortune with the Nine of Cups. On those wishes, you're going to be surprising, but geez Louise, God bless you. I wish I got these cards. All right, well, thank you, everybody, for chiming in, leaving your comment, and please tell me if it's resonated with you. I always love the comment section. And I have if you want readings, I do a few readings a week. I don't have much time for them, but I have been finishing up on giving a few other people the last of the readings. So I do have some availability, not much, but I do. And if you want to, there's a membership I'm starting, $1.99 nominal a month, that you get to get some new information, private readings, and I so hope to see you. I like doing the gems. It's a little fun, huh? Learned a little bit about the amethyst that I didn't know. Now, if you don't have some of these stones that were talked about for this reading, see if you can find yourself a clear quartz. See the clear quartz here? Clear quartz can substitute for any crystal out there. Okay? Quartz has been used for centuries. We all know about that. But, in your Casio watch back in the day, it's got crystals, your normal watch that people used to wear. I'm sure there's crystal in our smartphones, So, with that said, I'm Lily Q from the Nine of Cups. I'll talk to you soon. Hugs, wishes, the best to all. Love ya. Thanks for catching this latest reading of mine. I truly appreciate you spending a little time here with me. If you enjoy this style of tarot and relationship insights, let me know by leaving a comment about what resonated with you. And visit the9ofcups.com for more articles, to book private readings, explore the courses, access free community resources, and of course, shop mystical products lovingly crafted right here in Vermont just for you. It's a space designed to help you reflect, reconnect with your intuition, and love the life you design. Namaste. The light in me honors the light in you, sending big blessings your way. And because tarot isn't here to simply comfort you, it's here to bring awareness and to help you see the truth with clarity. Snarky Tarot Decks with Side Eye goes live on Kickstarter March 19th. Thanks for watching, liking, hyping, and subscribing, and for supporting independent creators like myself. Toodaloo, and see you next time.